In terms of intelligent community designation, how smart do the actual people have to be here? Because that would be a concern, especially if you're familiar with Clayton Park.
I don't know how to answer that question. I imagine that could be a question that the people in Toronto have asked themselves too. But any city, of course, has that kind of backlash, and how smart are we? But to be honest,
are you worried? You've spent some time here.
Yes.
Should we be concerned about our general intelligence level?
No, this is one of the best cities in the world for that. The number of universities per capita and schools per capita is stunning. Here, so.
I'm not convinced. Bring it up with Mayor Savage next time you're getting together with him and Paul Kent and figuring stuff out.
Yes, I'll say that Paul wants the IQ of Halifax raised. Is that where you're going with that?
Sure.
Perfect.
Are there any places that have tried to qualify and couldn't or didn't?
Well, each year it's a very tense competition, of course, and many cities apply. I know, and you raised the point about Moncton. It has been on that ladder once or twice. St. John across the water has been on the ladder as well. They made it to the top 21, I think, of smart communities. Fredericton made it to the top 7, so many years in a row. Waterloo has won it itself as well, and Calgary many years ago won it as well. But this is an intense competition, and you're fighting against cities in Taiwan, Korea, China. China's creating right now 350 smart communities, and India is creating 100 smart communities. So this is a contest that we can't afford to lose.
Sure. How does that benefit the community? How does that benefit Halifax in the long term to be recognized as such?
The drive towards becoming recognized is, I think, possibly the most rewarding thing, because everybody pulls together, everybody has a common goal. One of the things I found, especially in a place like Halifax, where so many people are working on knowledge industry projects, you don't really know what the other person is doing, because the more intense your job focuses, the less you know about what your neighbor is doing.
The bigger the blinders get.
The bigger the blinders get. And this exercise of becoming a smart community pulls people together.
Well, I mean, jokes about the stupid people aside, we do have some great IT and tech companies here, some which you may be familiar with, from 4D bin water imaging, immunovaccine, Propel Bioenergy, Metamaterial Technologies, and some pretty cool autonomous drone companies being developed and produced here.
That I didn't know. I didn't know about the autonomous drones. Of course, that's a huge interest to many companies, including Amazon around the world. I wonder how the autonomous drones are going to work when that nor'easter blows in tomorrow. You might find that all the drones that Amazon was using to ship books are now in Quebec, but I'm sure that they'll solve that problem.
I know the leader there is Spiri, and they do all of their testing and everything else at the place they call the aviary. So I think all the guys are just going to fly back in and hunker down during the storm. But
I know that you're right.
When you have autonomous drones, do we get many bonus points for that again on this ladder?
I'm sure you would. There are many things that would count towards winning. The exceptional use of technology for a social or a business function is exactly what it's all measured on. It's not about the technology itself, actually. It's about how you use it. So it may be 10% technology, but it's 90% about how it's helping the community or the business or the city become more efficient or smarter or analyzing things in a brand new way. The biggest thing about a smart community, I think, is that all of the components of the city, like I was saying, the utilities and the police department and whatever, they all work together suddenly because they're all comparable, they're all sharing information and data. And then you get into analysis, big data analysis, that reveals things about your city you've never known before and allow you to move into areas that you've never been able to do. For example, if you tied together the information you would get from sensors on the streetlights to the utilities to the first responders, you would find that in certain parts of town where the crime rates are high, if a street light goes out at night, you want to get there sooner rather than later. And it prioritizes where the utility is going to send its trucks and where the first responders are going to go right away just in case. And you wouldn't have known that if you had instrumenting all of that and testing it. The other thing in a general transportation way is that you can't build your way out of a transportation problem. You can't add another road and expect things to be better. What you need to do is have a smart transportation system that tells people when they're supposed to be going across that bridge and assigns them a parking spot when they get there so that there's no chaos or fuss at the other end. And ultimately, as you were saying with autonomous drones, I'm sure the future lies with autonomous self-drive vehicles, which are legal in 3 U.S. states that I know of.
Or transportation drones that could just pick you up.
Yeah, I'm in favor of that, yes. I'll start wearing the little helmet. That'll be fun.
I've been saying to them for a little while now that they need to change the name of the aviary to the Hive. I think it'd sell far more to the government that way, especially military.
I'm sure they'd be interested.
But that's just me. So if people want to learn more about intelligent communities, where's a good place to go? What's a website that they should be checking out?
iCanada150.ca
Okay.
would be the right place to go. And if you're sort of Googling things on the smart community in general, you could check the Intelligent Community Forum in a general sense. They've got some wonderful papers there as well. And certainly I'd be glad to help people be pushed into different areas as they wish.
Excellent.
Super. Thank you, Paul.
I didn't give you a chance to even drink your martini today, so I apologize for that.
Remedy
But,
that.
thank you so much for dropping by, taking some time. I want to thank this week's sponsor, Eddie's Mortgage and Pancake House, and I want to welcome for next time. Tune in. We're going to have rock and roll dude John Mullane here, who's in between a series of gigs in LA, so that should be good fun.
That sounds like great fun. Thank you very much, Paul. Super.
May
I add, too, that this is very classy. For the people who can't see what we're doing, we are sipping beverages and lobster tails and caviar.
Excellent. And I appreciate your comment, and I want to add to that martinis are classy 24 hours a day. Breakfast, lunch, doesn't really matter.